The search for great looking scenery just got a little easier.
Spiky bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we're going to take a look at some terrain offerings from Micro Art Studios. Now, I know we've talked about Micro Art Studios in the past. They've been around for so long. They're one of the first people to market with resin bases, and then they made the switch to, cranking out terrain, HDF terrain, hard foam terrain, resin terrain. They put out a lot of stuff designed for Infinity, but they also have their own versions of stuff as well that all looks great, and for the most part it'll fit in with a lot of different tabletop games out there. They even have a line of terrain for Legion as well, for Star Wars Legion, and of course it'll work for Clone Wars and things going in the future. So they sent us over a big batch of stuff to take a look at. Some of the stuff I hadn't seen before, some of the stuff is literally 12-13 years old and I have seen it before, but either way, it's definitely something to check out. You can get it in distribution here at in the States from retailers here, but if you want specific quantities or specific pieces, chances are you might have to go to their website, which is shop.microartstudios.com, and get it shipped over here from Eastern Europe, unfortunately. So they haven't made the big jump over here to the States yet, but they still have some great looking stuff that I think is definitely worth taking a look at. So let's jump over to the site and see what's new. So here it is, shop.microartstudios, and once you go into the store itself, you're going to see you'll be able to kind of scroll through the left nav here, as well as just kind of scroll through the middle and pick out different things. I've showed you this in the past. I have some sales stuff that changes from time to time, manuals in case you need to know how to put something together or you lose yours, Star Wars Legion terrain, acrylic terrain. This is their scenery section, which we're going to take a closer look at today. And then, of course, they also have their base section, which is probably what they're most well known for, at least what I started following them about. And then they've got a lot of stuff that works well from terrain and bases with Infinity. And then you can always check out the newest stuff right over here, too, if you're not keeping up with them on their Facebook page or, checking out the stuff that we're promoting over on SpikyBits.com. So we're going to jump onto the scenery here. And you got a couple different options in the middle now. You got hard foam, HDF, which is going to require assembly. It's that high density fiberboard, straight resin, and then just kind of differentiate between all three of these categories into historical and sci-fi. So that kind of gets you there. Now, a couple of things. I don't have a whole lot of this to put, to show you guys today. We do have some very similar cargo crates here, so you can kind of see the pricing, 27 euros, give or take. They do have a lot of crates and things. We also have some of those to take a look at. I think we got spare parts crates right here that come with 12 different little resin crates, which look really cool, and they have little tops and things to kind of put on them as well, which would definitely look pretty neat out there. And then they also have, keep scrolling down here, all the hollow boards and things for, what is it, Infinity as well. But on the HDF side, we don't have too much of that to show you today, actually about none of it. It takes a lot of time to put these things together, but usually the effects are quite stunning. But we do have, where is it, some of the hard foam stuff, which is pretty much already pre-assembled. We got some of these storage unit crates, these Connex sort of things that look great, and you get 4 of them in a box, and they're all pretty much ready to roll, already assembled. Here you can kind of see, get an idea for the size, because there's a broadside on one of those. And then they have some larger bunkers. Now this is their version 2. Here it is, or Barracks rather, Mark II. It used to be a combination kit with like some HDF and some hard foam, and now it's just straight hard foam. And painted up, looks great as well. So let's take a look at them in the real lives and see how good they look. So here we are. Here's kind of a look at their packaging, in case you were wondering. We've seen the blisters from them before for their bases, and now this is the packaging for their terrain as well. Now this is just resin terrain, so it's going to come nice and chunky in here in a nice sturdy corrugated cardboard box. They even put some extra packing peanuts in there to help it keep from bouncing around and clanking against each other and breaking apart. So that's really cool to see. And same for this set right here. And then as far as blisters go, and the smaller resin parts, they're going to come with a nice piece of foam in a blister pack. I mean, it probably isn't going to get crushed or anything like that, because I'm pushing down pretty hard and it's not indenting the blister, so I don't think you have any thing to worry about as far as that goes. And then on the bigger hard foam type packaging. It's just going to come in a big Ziploc bag with a little place card on it. But this stuff is pretty sturdy, and it's more resilient than resin, so I think this will be fine as well. Our IRL time right here. So this is some of their Ceti cargo crate terrain. I really like this. It goes for about 30 bucks. You know, it comes in the box and everything like that. And you get, what, 4 pieces of this stuff right here. And, you know, it's really cool looking. They have a version of this for Infinity. They have a version of this for Star Wars Legion. And, I mean, it's just cool. Like, it's great size, great line of sight blocking terrain for even Primaris Marines right here. And it's all, like, pre-done with, like, symbols and emblems and things. So it is very Towy. But, you know, you could kind of exit out or something like that. Or, you know, if you're all pro-Imperial kind of person or something like that. But either way, I think it really, really looks great. And then another cool set of terrain, which is more general, is the Fuel Depot. It's a set of 5. This is pretty cool, and of course it comes all in the box here with a bunch of different packing peanuts. It's very well sized. It's probably not going to stand up very well to a Primaris Space Marine, however, but for like guardsmen and skirmish games and things, and anything that's near future or historical era would probably work very well with that too. And those are about $18 US, give or take, with conversion rate. These are the spare parts containers. You get 12 of them for, I think it's like $15 US, give or take. They are really cool. They are very, very neat. The little crates, and they come with 2 little tops. Of course, there's more crates than tops, but you can get some empty ones. You can fill them up with whatever. But I mean, they got little spanners and stick bombs, and I don't even know what this is. Some sort of drum magazine, some wires. There's gourds. There's all sorts of things, and you know, they are about the same size as, you know, what they should be, as far as like if a Marine was reaching into a case to kind of grab out some ammo or something like that, or a grunt, or even like a little guardsman dude or something like that. Definitely right about the same size as what they should be. These are really neat. And then another thing that comes in a blister pack that's also about the same price, give or take, are these little jersey barriers. You get 6 of these, and they are about 3 inches across. I think I'm gonna go with, that's my calibrated eye checking this out, but let's see. Boom. Wow, I'm really good at that. It's like I play war games. So 3 inches across, and they provide a lot of great cover. But what's even cool about them is they got the little spots that, you know, they're supposed to basically get welded or rebarred down into things, but they got a lot of bullet holes and different things that you can really do a lot of cool effects. Each one's a little bit different. And it's just really neat to see that stuff that they got going on as far as the resin terrain. Now let's take a look at some of the hard foam offerings that they have too. And next up is these, they call them Barracks storage containers. This is the hard foam offering. You get 4 of these. I want to say, geez, I think it was $20, so they're roughly $5 each. Now size-wise, they're about 2 inches by about 4 inches long. Again, very good sized for things like Imperial Guardsmen, or if you want that sweet line of sight blocking terrain for some of your mans. They are still taller than Primaris Space Marines. Another thing that's important about this is, you know how like when you're doing terrain, everybody's always like, don't spray it with aerosols, it'll eat the material and then you'll have no styrofoam left. Well, the very first thing I did was, when I got this, was I took it outside and I sprayed it with, you guessed it, primer. And it turns out it's just fine. It did not eat through it. There's some black primer, as you can see right on top, so you can actually spray primer this. I put a little bit on the bottom too, just to see if the air quotes exposed bottom would get ate up, and it sure didn't. So we are good to go. You can matte coat this, primer it with whatever color you want and paint it up from there. Easy game, easy life. Of course, you can use the airbrush too. As far as like sizing goes, as far as tanks and things, this you are going to be able to get a tank turret over it. So, you know, if you got like a Lehman Russ or some sort of Rhino chassis or something like that, they are going to be able to shoot right over it, but still be obscured 50% of the fire. Shooting back, if they are in terrain, well, then that's a different story. It just kind of depends on how you kind of look at it there. So that's really cool to see too. And then the Hangar Terrain, which is the Barracks Mark II, which we showed you earlier. This one right here. This is kind of the newer version. It's all HDF. It used to it's all hard foam. It used to be part cut out wood, and you would put the pieces on it, but now it's just all one piece. Again, it's the same stuff, so you can prime it. It's a little bit bigger. It's about 4 5 inches by about the same 4 inches, give or take, wide. So it's got a nice big footprint, some really cool line of sight blocking terrain. It's roughly the same size as this one as far as tallness goes. So you can kind of get a turret over top of it as far as the tank goes. But you know, you're starting to kind of almost get a little too big as far as the sizing goes for tanks and things. So not everything might be able to see over it. Line of sight blocking all day for troops that are right up on top of it. You still might be able to see over from elevated positions and things right there. So that's pretty cool. These are $30, so it's about $10 each, give or take. But it's already assembled. It's not pre-painted, so you got to paint it a little bit. Same thing with these. They're about $5 each, and you get 4 in a pack, 3 in a pack. So pretty cool stuff. And this is just a random smattering of things from Micro Art Studios' website. They're always adding new terrain. They're always adding new resin creations, new bases. So make sure you check them out over there at shop.microartstudios.com. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos as well.